Shalom, I'm Brother Jabali.
Shalom, I'm Brother Mark. We are TTIC, the True Fan of Christ. We are for you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, let you know that you are the true people of the Bible. Today's subject is the 14th day starts the 15th day at night. So we're going to explain this to you as we go, brothers and sisters. Get your pen, your papers, your Bible out, and listen to what the scriptures say so you can follow along and go back over them yourself. Go ahead.
Leviticus 23 and verse 5.
Read.
In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
All right, so from there we're going to go to Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. So it explains you had when it says the 14th day of evening. So do the evening starts, is the Passover on the 14th day at evening? We're going to explain it to you. Read what you got.
Exodus 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
Come on.
And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
So you're going to kill the lamb in the evening. So we're going to go through Matthew's, Luke, and Mark, and we're going to see three events. And we're going to show you these three events. Go to Luke chapter 22, verse 7 and 8.
Luke 22 and verse 7.
Read.
Then came the day of unleavened bread.
Read.
When the Passover must be killed.
Read.
And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat.
Stop right there. From there, we're going to go to Mark chapter 14, verse 12. We're going to explain that to you. Give me 1 minute. We're going to explain that to you.
Mark 14 and verse 12.
Read.
In the first day of unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover.
When they killed the Passover.
His disciples said unto him, Where wilt thou that we go and prepare that thou mayest eat the Passover?
Read.
And he sendeth forth 2 of his disciples, and saith unto them, Go ye into the city, and there shall meet you a man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him. And wheresoever he shall go in, say ye to the good man of the house, the master saith, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he will show you a large upper room, furnished and prepared. There make ready for us.
Stop right there. Make ready for us. Is that the end of 16?
15.
Okay, 16. One more.
Verse 16. And his disciples went forth and came into the city, and found as he had said unto them, and they made ready the Passover.
So they made ready the Passover. So now we're ready. From there, we're ready to go to Matthew's 26. We're going to go to 2, and then we're going to drop down to 18 and 19. Go ahead.
Matthew 26 and verse 2.
Read.
Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover.
Read.
And the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
Drop down to 18.
Verse 18. And he said, Go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, The master saith, My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. And the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover.
Stop. So these right here, the 14th day was the preparation for the Passover. So let's go back to Exodus 12 and let's read verse 6 through 8.
Exodus 12 and verse 6. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
You should kill it in the evening. Read.
And they shall take of the blood,
And they should take up the blood.
and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the houses,
Read.
wherein they shall eat it.
Read.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
They should what?
Eat the flesh in that night.
They should eat the flesh in that night.
Roast with fire
Roast with fire.
and unleavened bread.
Uh-huh.
And with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
So stop right there. So now, at night, they ate the Passover. On the 14th day, they did what? Prepared the Passover. So we're going to explain to you the 14th day to the 15th day, brothers and sisters. So now we're going to go back to Luke. Now we're going to go to Luke again. We're going to go to Luke 22 and verse 9.
Luke 22 and verse 9.
Read.
And they said unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare? And he said unto them, Behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth in. And ye shall say unto the good man of the house, The master saith unto thee, Where is the guest chamber,
Read.
where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples?
Come on.
And he shall show you a large upper room furnished.
Read.
There make ready.
Come on.
And they went and found as he had said unto them. And they made ready the Passover.
So he made ready the Passover. Now watch this. Very important. Verse 14. Read.
And when the hour was come,
When the hour was come, here it goes.
he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him.
Read.
And he said unto them, With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer.
And what verse is that?
15.
All right, stop right there. When the hour have come, when the hour come, the hour came when it came nighttime. So they prepared in the 14th day in the evening, but when the hour came, meaning nighttime, they ate the Passover. From there, go to Mark chapter 14 and verse 17, 18. We're going to see, do all of them say the same thing? Watch this. Come on.
Mark 14 and verse 17. And in the evening he cometh with the 12.
In the evening he come with the 12.
And as they sat and did eat,
And they sat and did eat, because now it went from what? In the evening, and then it went to what? Nighttime. They did eat. Read.
Jesus said, Verily I say unto you, one of you which eateth with me shall betray me.
Stop. From there, give me Matthew chapter 26, 20 and 21.
Matthew 26 and verse 20.
Read.
Now when the even was come,
And now when the evening was come,
he sat down with the 12.
read.
And as they did eat,
As they did what?
read, he said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
Now let's go back to Exodus chapter 12, verse 8 again, brother. Let's find out. After the evening came in verse 6 in Exodus 12, they prepared everything. Let's see when they did that eat. Come on.
Exodus 12 and verse 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Read it one more time. I'm sorry.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
Read. And that they should eat the flesh in that what?
In that night.
Not in the evening. The evening was still the 14th day. And at that night changed to the 15th day. At 14th day at evening, they prepared the Passover. At night, they ate the Passover. The days changed. It's it on there. So from there, keep on reading, brother. Come on.
All right. It says, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire.
So now they explaining to you how you prepared the Passover. You got to roast it with fire. So you right today, you got to get a barbecue grill and you gotta roast it on the barbecue grill, brothers. Or if you got an open thing where you can turn it, you got to roast it like that, but it cannot be seasoned or anything. Read.
It says, his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof.
Read.
And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning.
It says you should let nothing remain until the morning. See, brothers made a thing right here saying that when they said nothing remained till the morning, see, that's when the next day came in. No, brother. No, we're going to explain this why you cannot leave nothing into the morning. Read.
And that which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn with fire.
That which remain of it in the morning, you should burn it with fire. So hold on right there, brother. Can you give me the definition of morning? Hold on, brothers and sisters. It's very important that we give you this definition of morning. Because why? We want you to explain something to you. The morning is from when that sun go down all the way to that sun comes up. The reason why? Because why they had to throw it, they had to get everything done and prepared. After they ate, they went to sleep, they woke up, they had to get everything, they had to be ready to leave in the morning. Watch this. Read what you got.
Definition of morning: the period of time between midnight and noon.
The period of time between midnight and noon. Read.
Especially from sunrise to noon.
Especially from sunrise to noon. So we know, so in the morning can be nighttime. Read what you got. Keep on going, bro.
And thus shall you eat it, with your loins girded.
With your loins girded.
Shoes on your feet.
I'll take it back. They ate and God had them ready to leave after they ate. I take it back. Read. Go ahead.
It says, with your shoes on your feet and your staff in your hand.
And your staff in your hand. Read.
And ye shall eat it in haste.
You should eat it in what?
In haste.
So you should eat it in haste. Watch this. Read.
It is the Lord's Passover.
It's the Lord's Passover. Come on.
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night.
He was passed through the land of Egypt this what?
This night.
This night. So the evening was the 14th day. They ate the Passover on the 15th day, and he's going to pass into Egypt that night. Come on, read.
And will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
He said, I will smite all the firstborn. Was the firstborn one child? Why didn't he say firstborns? He said firstborn. He's meaning the firstborns of all the Egyptian, animal and man. Read.
Both man and beast.
Read.
And against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment.
Against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment. Read.
I am the Lord.
I am the Lord. Read.
And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are.
Read.
And when I see the blood, I will pass over you.
Come on.
The plague shall not be upon you to destroy you.
Read.
When I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial.
This day shall be unto you for a memorial. Read.
And ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations.
You should keep a feast unto the Lord throughout your generations. Read.
Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
Read.
7 days shall you eat unleavened bread.
7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. Come on.
Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses.
Read.
For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day unto the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
You see that your soul should be cut off from Israel. So if you don't eat no leavened bread for 7 days, we're going to go over this. We're going to go over this again as the Passover is coming. All right, we're going to go over these scriptures again. So I'm not going to elaborate right now on all of it, but keep on reading, bro.
It says, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation.
In the first day, which is what? The first day is the 14th day at evening, and the 15th day starts the first day. We're going to prove that. Watch this, read.
And in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation.
In the 7th day. So in the first day, it's going to be a holy convocation. In the 7th day, it's going to be a holy convocation. Read.
No manner of work shall be done in them.
Read.
Save that which every man must eat.
Read.
That only may be done of you.
Come on.
And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall you observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever.
Read.
In the first month of the 14th day.
In the first month of the 14th day.
Of the month at even.
At evening.
Ye shall eat unleavened bread.
Read.
Until the 21st day of the month at even.
Stop. We're going to read that one more time. I want to make a point. Watch this. Read it one more time.
In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even.
Stop. When did they eat the food? Was it evening time, or over here in verse 8 did it say nighttime? Nighttime. Days change, brothers and sisters. And I'm going to prove that. Watch this. Keep reading.
Ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even.
Stop. So now let's deal with it. If you go by the 14th day at evening, let's see the days. It says at the end of that, read that. It says in the what? 20th and what?
20th day.
Now the one until the what?
Until the 1 and 20th day.
Means the 21st day. So now let's stop. We're going to do 14th day at evening. That's 1 day. 15th day at evening. That's 2 days. 16th day at evening. That's 3 days. What is that? Where I'm at?
16th day at evening.
Okay.
17th.
17th day at evening, that's 4 days. 18th day at evening, that's 5 days. 19th day at evening, that's 6 days. 20th day at evening, that's 7 days. That ain't the 21st day at evening. Now, we're going to go through that because that was a little difficult for me. Now, we're going to go through it. The 15th day at evening is what? 1 day. The 16th day at evening is 2. 17th day at evening is 3. 18th day at evening is 4. 19th day at evening is 5. 16th day at evening, the 20th day at evening is 6. And the 21st day at evening is what? 7. That makes sense? It add up. That's the 21st day. So it proves that the 14th day at evening was the preparation day. And the 15th day at night when they ate the Passover was the 15th day. So that's how you got the 14th day, the 15th day, the 16th day, the 17th day, brothers and sisters. Y'all simple. Y'all need to learn how to add up. All right. So now from there, brother, keep reading. Watch this.
Right. It says, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses.
Read.
For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel.
Read.
Whether he be a stranger or born in the land.
Read.
Ye shall eat nothing leavened.
Ye.
In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread.
Stop. I'm laughing at myself because I couldn't add up the 15 days. I'm trying to count those things, brothers and sisters. I'm sorry. I'm a little off today. Read. Go ahead. 21.
Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel.
And they did what?
And said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the blood.
So come on, read.
That is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of this house until the morning.
None of you should go out the door of the house in the morning. So why couldn't they go out of the house into the morning? Let's go back to verse 10.
Exodus 12, verse 10. It says, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire.
Read.
It says, and thus shall ye eat it.
That's all I wanted. So you couldn't go out and... No, read that. I'm sorry. Read that. Go ahead.
And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand.
Read.
And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
Read 12 one more time. Watch this.
Verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night.
Read.
And will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
Stop. Now go back to verse 22 one more time.
Verse 22. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at that door of his house until the morning.
He said don't go out because you would have got put to death if you would have went out there. That's why they couldn't go out into the morning, brothers and sisters. Read.
For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians.
You read.
And when he seeth the blood upon
See,
the
if
lintel,
you went out in that morning, I'm sorry, brother. If you went out in that morning, you would have got killed with those Egyptians. And they have nothing to do with the day changing into the morning. Read.
And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the 2 side posts, the Lord will pass over the door.
Read.
And will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you.
Stop. So he said he would not allow the destroyer. Who was the destroyer? Christ. Hold that. Give me 1 Corinthians 10. For you brothers and sisters that didn't think Christ was in the Old Testament, give me 1 Corinthians 10. Let me get to it real quick. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse... Start with verse 8. Watch this.
1 Corinthians 10 and verse 8. Neither let us commit fornication,
Read.
as some of them committed,
Read.
and fell in one day 320,000.
Read.
Neither let us tempt Christ,
Neither let us tempt Christ.
as some of them also tempted,
Read.
and were destroyed of serpents.
So they were destroyed of serpents. Watch this. Read.
Neither murmur ye,
Neither let us tempt Christ. Christ destroyed them with serpents. Watch this. Neither what?
neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured.
Some of you brothers and sisters murmuring in these congregations. Oh, I don't like leadership. Leadership's too hard. You brothers is murmuring. Watch what happened. Read.
And were destroyed of the destroyer.
Hold on, they was what?
Destroyed of the
The
destroyer.
destroyed of the destroyer. Christ destroyed those people. He killed those people. All right. So now let's go back. I just wanted to show you that real quick. What verse was we at, bro? All right, verse 24. Come on.
And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance
We shall observe these things for ordinance. Read.
to thee and thy sons
To thee and thy sons.
forever.
For what?
Forever.
From there, give me Deuteronomy 23, 3 and 4. I mean Deuteronomy 16, 3 and 4. I'm sorry, brother. All right.
Deuteronomy 16 and verse 3. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread.
Read.
Therewith, even the bread of affliction.
Even the bread of what?
Of affliction.
The bread of affliction. Read.
For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt
Read.
in haste.
That you came out of the land of Egypt in what?
In haste.
That's why we had to eat everything and it had to be thrown away for morning, because when that morning hit, we was out of there. Read.
That thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
All the days of thy life.
Come on, here it goes.
And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thou coast 7 days.
Read.
Neither shall there anything of the flesh,
Neither anything of the flesh. Read.
which thou sacrificest the first day at even.
Stop. You cannot eat no lamb for 7 days as well, brothers and sisters. You can't eat lamb from the 15th day to the 21st day. You cannot eat no lamb because it's the Passover. Read.
Remain all night until the morning.
Read.
Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover.
Thou mayest not what?
Sacrifice the Passover
Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover. Read.
within any of thy gates.
Within India, thy gate. That's all I want. So go from there. Go back to Leviticus 23, 5 and 6. This is the last verse, brothers and sisters. Last verse. Watch this.
Leviticus 23 and verse 5.
Read.
In the 14th day of the first month at even
And the 14th day of the last month at evening
is the Lord's Passover.
is the Lord Passover.
And on the 15th day
On the 15th day, because the 15th day started at night. Read.
of the same month
Of the same month
is the feast of unleavened bread
is the feast of unleavened bread. Read.
unto the Lord.
Unto the Lord.
7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
7 days you must eat unleavened bread. So we just proved to you, brothers and sisters, when you read back through Exodus, 12, you see that in the 14th day, at the 14th day of the same month, the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Verse 8, and they shall eat the flesh that night, the 15th day. You brothers and sisters understand that? They didn't eat it in the evening, so it started. And remember, when we went over here to verse 18, I counted it for you, brothers and sisters. That's how we understand that the 14th day at evening was the preparation, brothers and sisters. The 15th day came in at night, brothers and sisters. And I'm Brother Mort.
And I'm Brother Jabali.
We are TTIC, which stands for the Truth in Christ. You also can catch us on Facebook at TTIC. What is it?
Louisville, TTIC Louisville.
TTIC Louisville. You come on Facebook, get on our page. You can ask us questions, leave a message on the messenger, brothers and sisters. We'll answer your questions, brothers and sisters, whatever you got. We'll say shalom.